I would like I'd like someone to be able to have a little bit of control with their second support they pick up. I think. Are you a fan of Grim Beast lane? Are you looking for another support to play with the Beastmaster?
It's fine in my eyes. Like, there's nothing amazing about it, but I think you could just look to really pressure down the lanes, like, honestly push it in a little bit, just to enable Grimstroke to start getting those pulls off and look to take it over in that way.
Okay, because I was just considering if I'm going to be looking for a 5 or a 4 here for Neon. Um,
Do you
they
just look like a Shadow Shaman or something?
Yeah, that's
With
kind of
instant lockdown for an Ember?
few more push as well. Chuan has played it a couple times. Jing looks always very comfortable in it as well. So really wouldn't hate if.
I Sorry to interrupt. I have
Radiant
to wonder
team
how
pick.
much this Beastmaster pick was
Lion.
similar sort of thing, right? It doesn't give you the push, but it gives you that instant catch and burst, which you need to be able to take out an Ember
Dire
Spirit. Because
team
right
pick.
now their damage is a little slow
Shadow
ramp up. This is
Fiend.
something a little bit out of left field, though. A Shadow Fiend coming through. Wow. I wonder if he's going to go like the Presence Effects Buildings talent just to really amp up that all-in push. But should you have gone the Shadow Shaman then, just to be able to
10
have that extra
seconds
layer of
remaining.
synergy? Don't know, but clearly they're feeling comfortable with a line.
5
I was
seconds
saying with the
remaining.
Beastmaster, I wonder how much they were going to do this from the very beginning, or how much of it was actually in response to the Bane. Of course, with the Nightmare in lane, you've got the Boar, you can always just clear that off and makes it much harder to set up for some potential harassment attempts.
Yeah, and with where they picked the Beastmaster, they could protect it as well with the bands like you mentioned. So like at least Beast's gonna have a good lane. You've got the synergy with it. The supports are very vulnerable. You got a lot of vision now to play with, which can help with Lion's Jump or even Shadowfiend, depending on how he looks to itemize. But Shadowfiend versus Ember is a very, very solid lane for the Shadowfiend, being a melee hero. Spam him down with razors very easily. Is going to have a decent amount of armor, nothing crazy, but is an agi hero. So the Ember Slight
Radiant
spam
team
isn't
banner.
going to be
Templar
a big,
Assassin.
big concern. But Army Geniuses, they're going to go down the Templar Assassin route. So,
Could even be an Ember 1.
Dire team
Use the
ban.
slights for the Boars. Never know. And Shadow Fiend into a TA feels not too great for the SF, to be honest.
well, this
Unable
is
to harass out the TA.
this is that counter for a long time back when we were seeing Shadow Fiend and
Radiant team ban.
kind of when tier was being played mid, when you would never consider it as a safe lane carry. You just have a huge damage advantage over the Shadow Fiend early, and you would
Dire
just be able
team
to
ban.
easily outlast hit him. Of course, the side blade's always a bit tricky as well for the Shadow Fiend to be able to combat into. So yeah, it's a pretty good matchup, but I think it has kind of swung around with Shadow Fiends prioritizing a lot more into razors with the water runes and everything like that. So that is if they do think
10
about putting the
seconds
tier mid, like
remaining.
you're saying, and maybe having the potential of Ember going safe lane.
5
I think
seconds
it makes
remaining.
sense. I mean, they still need some sort of ability to be able to honestly take out this TA, because for me they're lacking it severely. It's really only the Grimstroke, and who do you actually have to
Radiant
combine
team
together with an
pick.
Inkswell at
Dire
this
team
stage?
pick.
Chaos Knight.
Well, this feels a little bit stronger of a safe lane if you're going to pair together the Grimstroke and the Chaos Knight for going for kills and the like. But Army Geniuses, what are they going to have to counter this? I mean, it's going to need to be someone pretty beefy. Brewmaster's already gone. Is Dragon Knight banned? I wouldn't hate a Dragon
10
Knight.
seconds remaining.
Or,
5 seconds
no, it's not an
remaining.
Underlord. Like, Underlord is good against Chaos Knight, but you're also very vulnerable if they look to put on a lot of aggression
Should
early.
have
So,
said it.
Tidehunter. Hmm?
I said I should have said it.
I mean, it's fine, right? Like, it's not amazing, and you're not really all that cooldown reliant outside of the tide, I suppose. Yeah, it's fine.
I think the lane's going to be quite nice versus the Chaos Knight at least. I just wasn't sure if they were going to go range here because they have a melee 4, but I feel like if you go range into Chaos Knight, like it's a double stun lane, whether it's Chaos Knight Lion, Chaos Knight Grimstroke, and if you get on top of that ranged off laner, and if you get killed off a couple times, all of a sudden your game is very difficult to play. So It
It
gives a
needed
little.
to be some kind of frontliner, basically. Like, I don't think it could have been arranged.
Yeah, and now the Tide gives them a little bit of team fight for Army Geniuses, which is something that they were kind of lacking prior. Some AoE control, some minus armor to pair with Azura. Keep in mind, Wami really likes a Tide Hunter as well. And it's the only thing he's really worried about is the Phantom's Embrace from the Grimstroke. Everything else you don't really hate playing into. Like Raw's not really going to do a whole lot. Finger of Death is a bit of an issue with the Zap and depending on the Shadow Fiend build as well. But I don't hate the pick. I don't hate the pick at all.
I mean, I really like this TA matchup. The next level play from Neon would have been to flex the Shadow Fiend to be a position 1, which we saw happen a few times. Basically, treat him like a Terrorblade that's always in Metamorphosis to dodge the TA lane. But they're not going to do it. They're still changing things up a little bit here. So it's going to be SF laning into the TA. TA very favored in that regard. So I want to see Neon put a little bit of emphasis on considering TA is not going to get harassed down in the lane, block up some of her camps so that she's not able to accelerate that farm. Tide Hunter plus Monkey King into the Chaos Knight Lion lane. I feel like it's still going to be decently CK favored, but not amazingly. And then the last lane is going to be Beastmaster Grimstroke. Again, it's not amazing. Like there's no immediate synergy that you see there out of the use of the Inkswell, but it's fine. Like you're going to shove the lane in, you're going to try and push, you're going to try and harass, and early on DB's not going to be able to deal with it amazingly until he gets more points into the Sleight of Fist.
Have you been seeing the old chatting that's going on?
It's about Jollibee, the restaurant that you hate.
What? Hang on a second. Is it well, firstly, is it everywhere in Southeast Asia or particular places?
It's a Filipino chain.
Okay,
but
so
it's very popular around the world.
So you're just gonna absolutely get me roasted by Filipinos. Very cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
To battle.
So, also just a quick side note: you need to do a Raw this game, a war cry.
That is true. That is true. When he does it.
Fuck.
I'll be role playing Beastmaster.
Let's go. All right. Yeah, there was a bit of banter going back and forth at the start of this game. We saw. I think DB said that. Someone said, "Where's Asta?" And then Mice responded with, "I am Asta." As Chuan is getting beat down. But Stroke of Fate from Jing is going to be able to deter them. So Army Genius do a lot of damage onto the rune. What were the bounties like? A 2 for 2. Okay, nothing crazy. But yeah, they just a bit of back and forth saying where's Asta? And then saying Jing stop kicking people. So love to see it.
Jing's out of control. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jing and Asta joined from the same team previously as well, so I doubt it would be Jing doing that.
Who knows? Maybe it's pizza party in full force.
True. Henry's already getting harassed a decent amount up here on the top side. You can see Varese trying his best to be able to take out. Look at the boar's name.
Is it Bob? Yeah.
But the fact that you could do this on your own, of course, he's got the luxury of saying, okay, well, Lion had to go all the way back to base. Now I can look to harass him out. It gives Ember that start that he needs. I mean, he's going to deny away at least 2 creeps, I believe. So that's a big win already on the top side for Army Geniuses. Bottom, all that Wami and Naman are really looking to do is farm up some of those early levels. Like, you've got the Boundless Strike leveled and the Gush. Yeah, part of it was for Chuan and being able to take him out, but yeah, you can just see the pings are already happening onto the range creep, and well, he's able to secure it on Wami. So, nicely done by Naman here to be able to A, block up the camp, B, avoid the lane while you're still in those vulnerable early levels.
Why do you feel like Neon have put Chuan top and the Grimstroke bottom?
I mean, it's just so much of a stronger lane, right? Inkswell into Reality Rift and CK stun. Obviously, you want to connect onto Naman instead of Wami, right? Because he's eventually going to get the Kraken Shell, but it is a really strong kill lane. Top lane, it's basically just, well, we wanted the Lion, but the lane isn't anywhere near as good. So I like that they've made that change.
Yeah, and of course we get the core change as well, with DB playing the Ember Spirit in the safe lane, so the Templar Assassin matched up versus the Shadow Fiend, and it does look like Azure's off to a pretty good start.
You would expect it, though. He hasn't had his small camp blocked up. He has the sentry ward on one of his hard camps there, but the creep's already spawned, so at least he's going to get one camp's worth of it. I believe a bottle coming out to him now as well. Yep, so he's going to be just fine.
It's going to be a bit cautious, though.
I mean, Avatar mode's running out of razors.
But he's just going to mango. He's like, screw you. Play with some health? No, I'll get rid of that instantly. Top lane Enry is going to be okay. So, I think with mid, I imagine Azure is going to have to consider going for a little bit more emphasis in the refraction.
Oh, go on.
What? Oh, no. Alright, first blood picked up. DB gets his level 2 now in the slight, so just more spam and closer to the Orb Corrosion. As bottom lane, Jing's going to be in trouble. He's already used the Gush, but a beautiful Ink Spell will hold back the 2 on Army Geniuses. And now this will give him nice space to be able to right-click Narman down. He's got the stun in a couple of seconds. There's a 2-second stun. Allows Mice to step in and get that last little bit of damage to secure their first kill.
Nicely done. I mean, Variz on the top side, he's been doing a good job making these pulls happen. Honestly, it's a little bit of a mistake by Chuan that he's been able to enable this because, I mean, look at the Beastmaster. He's just got level 2 still, so the boar has a lot less HP than it probably should with that first blood as well. DB, like you mentioned, is going to be going for the slight spams as much as possible. He's already got the Blightstone as well, so very easy way to clear it out. And it really feels like Enryu doesn't feel comfortable going into this lane at all until he's got the Helm of Iron Will. And, I mean, his farm is seriously suffering up here.
They are...
Yeah, they were pinging him out a little bit, saying, hey, the boar's dead. Let's try and get a little bit of that damage in onto him to be able to start off.
Well, it's even mid lane as well, where it's an early rotation for the Monkey King.
Oh, look at this top. Double chains.
Oh, run, Mr. Enryu. X gonna buy him a little bit of time. Slide up in 5, but I think Enryu will be okay.
But I honestly don't think Enryu's hit a single last hit in the past minute, maybe minute and a half, honestly. Like, he is really suffering up here.
Mid lane Avatar mode might be in trouble. Zero doesn't have boots to close the distance, and they will TP in Jing, or they're just the threat of it, so Jing's going to have to cancel his, and Azure just going to look to shove in the lane now. I mean, there's nothing you can do from a Shadow Fiend. If you go back to this lane, you're more than likely going to be killed off, and if you leave, then you're missing out on a full wave of golden experience.
So Army Genius is just doing solid stuff all around, right? They've got the advantageous match up top, they've got the advantageous match up mid, and bottom, they didn't have the advantageous matchup, so Narman did the smart thing and didn't lane. Made sure to make that creep pull happen, locked up the camp. Very nicely done by AG all around.
Now, you were mentioning about the Tide Hunter, like kind of the big reason why you felt like they needed to go down this route was just having like a frontline hero as well. Mine's actually going to go straight to the back as Narman, trying to play around with the mischief for the moment, but they still hold the stun. As all the abilities being chucked down onto Narman, bring him down in a threshold where they can chase him under the tier 1 tower, as Mice will find his second kill of the game.
Yeah, what about Tide Hunter frontlining?
What items in particular are you hoping for Wami to look for this game?
I just really want him to go stuff that enables him to A, have a little bit of that extra armor, so the phase boots make sense. This isn't like some arcane boots into a Lotus Orb kind of game, even though Lotus is pretty decent. He just needs to be able to stand there and tank up a lot, so wouldn't hate to see him go a hood after that. But you still need to kind of be that initiator, right? Of course, Monkey King is going to enable stuff like the Ember Spirit to make jumps onto the back lines, but Wami still needs to be there as a bit of an initiator either before the CK gets his ultimate off, or as a bit of a counter-initiate.
Henry is going to be killed off. Narman looks to rotate top. They know the Tide Hunter's real... I mean, he's pretty close to unkillable, so this is really enabling Narman to be able to make these rotations. We saw him put some emphasis on mid before, and up to top after that death. So really nicely done from Mr. Narman, just recognizing that he's not required bottom.
He's even just soaking... Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, cut.
This one.
Yes.
Oh, they're going for G now. Azura's still on the
Azura's
low
coming.
ground. It'll take a bit of time to wrap all the way around. They've got to trap up shortly.
The reason holding 3 back is a Bane as well.
Yo, this is really deep on Army Geniuses. You gotta get out. You gotta get this kill and get out, because even the Beastmaster's looking to connect. They won't even get the kill.
Alright,
Yo,
Jing.
Narman's going for it.
Easy
Narman.
clap.
At a price.
If Ariz even gets the body block off onto the camp as well, doesn't even need to drop a sentry. So if they see that they've got this this stacked up a little bit, the ancient camp, and they dropped a ward at the time, you'd have to assume that they're going to de-ward it just because of how long they spent in the general vicinity. Top lane, Enry, you might be in trouble as well. You've still got 3 people here.
Mass TPs. The double supports, but I don't know if they're going to be fast enough as Narman lands a double boundless strike, but Jing's going to look to step into the middle. And Inkswell on the 2. It's a lot of damage at the moment from the Grimstroke with 2 points up in the stun, so they will be able to keep the Beastmaster alive and get their own kill.
Nice TP rotation. They've doubled up on the Orb of Corrosions on Army Genius's side, but it's not the worst, right? Like, yes, he's playing up here on the top side now, but I feel like you just want to be that initiator on Narman. So I feel like if he wants to make plays around the map, doesn't matter if it's top, bottom, mid, whatever, it's just going to be nice to have that Orb of Corrosion.
And that's giving a little bit of time for some callers down bottom as actually hold that thought. Avatar mode. Want to try and get the double. Yo, it's a lot of damage with the Requiem. Alright, Avatar mode. Oh, it is scary if you'll run into the Shadow Fiend. In a position like that, he's going to do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, top lane though, DB should be able to get a solo kill into Enryu with a slight backup and available. So, even giving him the tip. Breeze is like, beautifully done. A solo kill. That's a well-deserved tip for you, my Mr. Carry.
Yeah. I've secured the lane for you. Just spread your wings and fly is essentially what he's saying. Wommy as well. He's just untouched on this bottom side. Yeah, the CK's farming, but that's fine. You're fine to trade one lane when the other 2 are just going so well.
Looks like... Are they going to give up bottom on Radiant? Mice is back to the jungle. So I wonder if Dai try and put a little bit of damage into the tower.
I think they can just see Narman as well.
Yeah, they
Yep,
can.
They can see him just hiding up in the trees there. So with Jing showing up, is he...
Oh,
they see him.
poor Narman. Well, it's big for Mice, continuing to increase his economy. Top of the net worth for the Curse Knight. 3 kills. He's farmed relatively well in regards to last hits, and should now give him an opportunity to go back to the lane and try and shove this one out, as they can't really set up on the Chaos Knight.
No, they can't set up on the CK just yet. I mean, it's important for DB to just keep Enryu in the bin up here. So he's already built up a 3-level lead against the Beastmaster. You don't want to throw that away. Look to extend it even further, but like everyone's backing him up right now. Oh, they're even... it was warded. So they see the fact that Shadow Fiend just dropped an observer there. They know that they've got multiple people in this region. So yeah, DB's playing so much safer.
Wami's in a
Wommy,
bit
though.
of trouble.
I mean, that was his hood that he had killed on the courier, so that's kind of a big deal for standing in on the front lines and, more importantly, being able to contest specifically against the Shadow Fiend, who's having a decent game. I mean, yeah, he's a tiny bit behind the TA, but that's just because TA had that big increase in farm from being able to stack the Ancient Camp and build that one up.
Yeah, but Neom really forced that attempt up top, and they didn't get anything out of it. Like you said, moving under the cliff ward, so this meant that Army Geniuses could freely take a tier 1 mid, and this is a very big tower for them to get at the early stage.
I mean, Tide, TA, they're both super capable of taking stacks, invading jungle, and stealing that farm away. I wonder if they're going to look to try and maybe make a play around bot somewhere, just because you do have this Tide Hunter who's very farmed. You do have this creep wave as well with the siege creep. For now, Mice is just sticking down here. But I don't know if they want to actually... I guess he still feels comfortable to farm. But the fact you've got a Beastmaster who's still this low on net worth that hasn't been able to take any towers, it's a worrying point. You'll see Bane, though, backing up the team.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to lack ways to start fights for quite some time. It's really on Dai actually just running at them first, maybe overplaying their cards into like a raw line control, and then all of a sudden you're going to be fine. But maybe that's where Mice is... Has he gone Blink next? I haven't seen. No, he's not even close to another item, so...
Yeah, I think he needs to. That's the thing. Like, this... Mice needs to do so much this game. I went in complete agreement with you. When I saw the career coming out, I'm like, surely he doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, but it's approaching the point where that might have to be the next item.
Yeah, I really feel like it is, because I just looked at the Lion's net worth, and, well, Chuan doesn't have boots. Like, this is your true position 6, and we really don't see that in Dota anymore, so... It's going to be very difficult for them to start fights for quite some time on Neon. We'll see if they can defend bottom. Wami's taking a lot of damage just to Mice alone. Now the rest of Neon are considering showing up. It's Jing, and they are smoking down bottom as well in case a fight breaks out. Jing on point, cuts down the right tree, but the rest of Army Genius is looking to step on in, but they've got to be cautious. Avatar Mode looking to enter the fight off the back of the haste. And Mice secures a triple kill. That is huge for Neon, because they don't really commit anything. Yes, it's a couple of, well, actually just one TP. As meanwhile, guess what? That is, I cannot stress how huge that is. Enryu's also taking a T1 tower and getting some pick-me-up.
Very, very important for the Beastmaster. Now, this kind of recovers his game a little bit. He's got the Helm of the Dominator. He's looking to... I mean, you would assume he's going to go the Helm of the Overlord with the Vlad Zora, just because Vlad's very effective with a Chaos Knight. You've got multiple units hitting CK as well, just to be able to have that stand and fight potential with the lifesteal. It feels really nice for him to go the Overlord this game in particular. And, I mean, maybe Wami would have survived if he had that Hood of Defiance. It was literally about 3 seconds away from him, but just shows the impact of a single Courier Snipe, both... preventing him from taking the tower on his own previously, and then dying.
I know we were also questioning kind of the build from Avatar Mode and what route he wanted to go down. Does look like it's going to be the right-click Shadow Fiend build. So, not the one that we really saw in Western Europe, but that was kind of the position 1 Shadow Fiend, where it's just one, even no points in Razor's maxed out presence. But it is still going to be the right-click Shadow Fiend nonetheless, so he's got the Dragon Lance and working on the Mantle.
I hated that 0-point Raze build.
Like, yeah, I know you did.
Just 2 points. That's all you need. You're not using mana for anything else, so you may as well be able to clear stacks quicker.
Oh. What are we closing into on Dire? Almost Maelstrom on DB. Wami's almost got a Blink. Azuria almost has a Deso, so they are very close to fighting shape.
There's that item, and that shows the importance of getting that triple kill on Mice as well. He's got the Blink Dagger purchased up. I'm sure he would love to get up to level 12 just to have that extra Phantasm unit for that additional burst potential.
They're going to smoke.
Oh, he's so close to it, though. I mean, it's a huge difference maker. Maybe if they can, pick off the Bane first, use the Finger of Death to do it, and then use that to be able to transition into a push and other heroes with the... They see that the Ember Spirit's Remnant is here inside the camp. They're waiting around, but DB...
Oh, they got the ward on the high ground. A 3-second stun, and the rest of Neon can step in, find the chain control, and blow him up as Chuan gets his first finger stack, and they might instantly try to move mid to maybe put some pressure on that tower, but might be difficult, though, into Army Genius's lineup.
There's the Vlads, so... Your team fight ready. You've got the Blink Dagger. You might not have the Phantasm, but I don't really feel like you need it, especially with this siege creep in the mid lane. They need to be careful, though. They're coming up against the... Oh, look at this. He gave Varese his Blink Dagger, so it's hidden. So Varese has got it backpacked right now, while Wami looks to clear out this way. Very cheeky. Very nicely done.
Interesting.
So give it back. Support. Hello.
Deny it.
Radiant are scanning.
Just drop it on the ground. That's when you run it down. He's going to do it again. Look, he gives it back. He's like, just hold on to this. You're my storage locker for now. Yoink, I'll take that back. Thank you very much.
He's got his Kari here even as well to do that. They might be able to kill Enryu. He's underneath the lane ward. DB and Narman are currently positioning, but like you said, Smoke on Smoke and Radiant, they're pivoting themselves to top.
This will
Oh,
be
this
big.
is
Wami
scary.
can catch the
Wami
mini.
with the Ravage! On to 3, but where's the follow-up? Where's the damage? Azura's gonna finally enter the fight. They'll kill off the line. But do they stick around? Enry, oh, he's way too weak to take the fight. And without Mice, there's no turnaround. He's gonna try and TP out. They won't have a stun. So nice read from the Chaos Knight to be able to make it away. And very nice as well from Wami. A blink reveal. I wonder... I don't think they can roast without Ravage. 20 seconds? Probably not.
Nah, I don't think so. Even the TA, right? Well, maybe now with the Desolator, you could look to consider it. You got the Gush minus armor, you got the Orbital Corrosion, you got the Desolator. It's possible, but seems like they just want to get these lanes pushed out as a bigger priority.
Uh-oh, my... Whoa.
Whoa.
Nice reactions.
Radiant's top
this
tower
is-
You get the
under
feeling it might have
attack.
been fine as well, right? They used basically every ultimate except for the Requiem. Although SF has BKB, and there's not too much that he needs to be concerned about anymore.
And Jing has Ag Shot as well. So it's a pretty big timing for them. Yo, Avatar mode, half his health with 2 side blades. My gosh.
Even
Oh
though
my
they don't see him,
lord.
it gives them
Gonna
the
jump
indication
Wami.
that they got a
Again,
Desolator.
Wami with the blink. Somebody get out of harm's way. Varese protected with the Nightmare. Now my steps way too far over the line. As there is nothing that Neon can do to protect him, and they've got to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Tidehunter, right? Like, you're not going to be able to do anything to him without these ultimates, and I think at the time they didn't quite have the Lions back up and available, so it's optimistic. I think you need to go for someone else to be able to start out a lot of these engagements.
No, 3,000 net worth lead now for Army Geniuses. It's been a really solid past couple of minutes for them. As we've spoken about, either side's kind of working towards these item timings, but it was really Dire that was able to convert. And now maybe with this momentum, again, if they take another successful fight, then they should be able to get Roshan, and all of a sudden we often see what tier lineups can do with that first Aegis, so could be very scary for Neon.
Really don't hate this, he sees the Vlad's offering on the Beastmaster, and you know what Wami says? You know what? I see your Vlads. I'm going to get Vlads, but better. He's already got the Wraith Pack queued up. So 18% extra damage on the Vlads, both for your team. And, oh, wow. How the hell did they kill him? I guess Phantasm. But that's without a Blink Dagger on the Lion, so not quite the quick enough fingers coming through there from the Ember Spirit. But yeah, the Wraith Pact minus 30% damage to counter the bonus 18. So you're much better off while still providing your team with your own Vlad's Aura. Against the CK too. All those illusions, very impactful to have that AoE damage reduction.
Oh, and Ryu, this is not a good spot to be. Of course, they showed bottom for that Ember kill. They're around mid, gonna try and connect. And Ryu with a TP out. Ryu's able to just offer up the cancel. And...
Did you like my roar?
What? You didn't roar.
I roared.
No, you
I
didn't.
did.
No, you didn't.
I live in an apartment complex, okay? I can't yell that
It's
loud.
7:30. Top lane.
Yeah, but-
Narman's gonna be killed off. My sister. Will Narman be killed off? Tree dance in a couple of seconds. He's alright.
They smoked
That was the. They're coming.
Just wait, just wait. There's stuff happening, Ares, alright? You don't need to talk about me yelling. But they smoked right underneath this observer ward, which is right in front of the pit, and then they just walked into the pit anyway. I mean, clearly with the double damage, they feel very confident in being able to take this one down with the Meld minus armor, with the Gush, Desolator. It's too much for
You want to
Roshan.
take a fight? You got Ravage in a cliff ward.
Well, not anymore. Azura TP's down bottom. You got to make sure you get out of dodge.
That was a shit roll. I actually don't think anyone heard it.
Because your obnoxious voice was talking at the time.
So I see. Then you should know by now that I have the power to mute you whenever I want, and beautiful
That is
thing that
true.
I have done that. So we don't have to worry about hearing you no longer. I'll go back to my solo cast,
Radiant's
back to the good old
bottom tower
days.
is under attack.
Chuan closing on the blink. I don't know if can Narman. I guess he's got Atos, but no real damage item.
Dire's
But it would
structures
always
are
be nice to
fortified.
kill Chuan, as he's so close to this blink. Needs couple hundred more gold.
Radiant's bottom
Thought that one's going to be a
tower is under
capability,
attack.
but it looks like Army Geniuses, so a free siege down bottom. They don't have Glyph and Radiant to be able to dissuade them. So the Templar Assassin easily going to take a T2 tower. Now this will be able to open up the outposts.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
What it looks like Neon. See what they can really get out of this. I mean, poking and prodding with top, but the Phantasm has been used. So Dire,
Are scanning.
it's a cross-map smoke from them.
Radiant's bottom
Shadowfiend's
tower
going to
is
TP
under
out, so he'll
attack.
be out of harm's way. But again, they have this cliff ward. So Radiant have to be cautious if they retreat back towards their triangle.
I don't care if I'm muted or not. Azura, he pigged out that the Shadow Fiend had TP'd down towards this bottom side, so I'm sure they want to go for some kind of smoke play here on Army Geniuses and look to catch him out towards the top side of the map while they don't have the flexibility to be able to rejoin on that SF. I mean, he's still such a huge portion of their damage right now.
Damn, it's a very early butterfly. Alright, Wommy. Seen you get some crazy Ravages before. Your first Ravager game was pretty goddamn good to be able to net themselves that team fight victory, but can he do it again? I guess the question is as well, can really Neon defend this T2 tower?
Doubtful. I mean, they've got Narman for that additional vision. They are playing away from the cliff ward just to make sure that it's not revealing themselves too quickly.
They just destroyed the trees that they're hiding behind.
Okay.
Hog. Not the ward. Protect the lane ward. Oh no. Let's see what the play is. I was going to say, maybe you just actually shove in bottom to force them to kind of leave the T2 tower and leave their formation. They're going to jump. Instant BKB from Azura. No messing around as that Wommy's in. Ravage clipping all four as Mice. He's unable to do anything to protect himself as now the Beastmaster is going to be easy pickings as Variz with the chain control. A Nightmare into the Fiend's grip, making sure there is zero opportunity for Neon to turn that fight back around as it's a trap indeed. They jumped the Azura up, but the price was too heavy as Wommy's Ravage on point for another fight.
I mean, you consider all the things that you need to take out this TA, right? Before that fight, she was level 19. She has the Aegis. She has a BKB. She's got a ton of stats. She's by far the most farmed person in this game. And you would need to use Phantasm, you'd need to use Finger, you'd need to use Roar, you'd need to use Requiem to be able to take her down. And that's even after you get through the refraction charges. So it seems really odd to me that they chose her to go on to.
They're even going to get more. Ravage on cooldown. Of course, they've got Aegis for a minute. Is this a bit greedy? They're going to try and go for Wommy instead. Of course, the Kraken Shell Nightmare proving to be an issue. Once again, Wommy's able to reposition, but now with the Wukongs, it's offering up some control in the middle of the fight. And DP with the backstab as well. Requiem Fear turns him back on his heels, but Azura again has the Aegis. He's going to look to stand his ground, but they used a lot for the first life. I don't know if Neon can take this second round. They're going to try and turn him to the sleep at the moment on Avatar mode. Protective for the BKB, retreating to his higher ground, but Azura has a completely free fight now with everything expended. As he's just cleaving heroes down with the side blades. And even, wait, no! Almost gets Avatar mode. He's inside the base! But DV gets the kill. That's all that matters is he'll find another one outside the fountain. Oh, no good.
It just takes way too much damage to get through them, right? Like the Tide Hunter, we saw how long he was able to survive for, allowing Narman to get it set up for that great Wukongs. Provides that area that you just cannot contest into. And all the while, Azura, he's like, oh, okay, you killed me once. I still haven't used my BKB. I can just turn things straight rack around onto you. That's the second lane of racks.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Well, it's looking like Neon
Radiant's
going down the route of not being able to take that first game. Again, they only need one. So far, he has BKB available.
They have the ink spell, but it's going to take too long. It's going to take too long for the Heartless spell. Mice is killed off, feeling like Army Geniuses had already backed away from the area, but a good old double back is always a neat trick. This is Ravage back up now as well, so Are they really going to stick around? Oh, man, Danog. Azura's got an MKB, so this butterfly on avatar mode not looking too juicy.
Well, he's pretty useless to me.
Radiant's top tower is under
Hey.
attack.
No one's ever useless, okay? Just remember that.
No, I didn't say the person is. I said the item is.
You said he's pretty useless.
Radiant's
It's
top
pretty
tower has
useless.
fallen.
Sure? I don't know. I reckon you're trying to roast him. And how disrespectful of you to do that to avatar mode. He's a
Radiant's top
beautiful
tower
human
is
being.
under attack.
Trying to call him a
Tell me
bot.
3 menu items on Jollibee, please.
What?
That aren't spaghetti and fried chicken.
But why should I know that? I live in Australia. Like,
Spread thrice.
alright,
Just culture.
last ditch
Oh,
attempt.
they're going for a little bit of a wraparound here. Enryu, his smoke pops though. They will have this.
Radiant's middle
They don't
tower
have the
is
high
under
ground
attack.
warded. No Tinker Ward there, so they're going to be able to
No.
spot him out, and they're
Oh.
going to go for the monkey.
Okay, they cut down the tree. One can always ravage to counter initiate, but a BKB from Mice on the front line. But look at Azura's damage. Nice armlet toggle from Mice. He's going to be able to get out, but I don't think you continue this fight. DB's going to run
Nice
into
spear.
the middle. Chain control with the roll, but the damage is lacking. They don't have anything in the tank as Gleipnir almost kills off Avatar mode. But now Army Geniuses, they can swarm to the backline, turning all their attention on the retreating heroes on Neon. As unfortunate for Jing, oh, he's stuck in a tree line. Can't look to evade this attempt through the lane. Just try and put himself in a little hidey hole, but Army Geniuses will find him. And now they're going to knock on the high ground.
Expand once again.
They're going to back off, maybe
Radiant's
play
top
around that
tower
second
is under
rows, just
attack.
take it easy. This is the big thing that I've seen the difference with Army Geniuses. You know, they don't go for these insane dives that clearly don't have value. This is, oh man, Blast Rig against a Chaos Knight is amazing. Really want to see him give that over to one of the supports. Even DB, to be honest. Oh, hell, Tide takes it.
Oh,
Radiant are scanning.
BKB's on cooldown.
Blink Ravage.
If they run under this trap, they'd probably instantly jump whoever's caught. Azura got a
I mean,
blink.
they've got a ward in the base as well.
They do down bottom. What's this Corey getting? Azura not going to see it. Maybe. Yo, it might fly back over the trap.
Radiant's
I-
courier has been
what?
killed.
Has he got the trap? What's going on? I don't know how the hell it saw it.
I don't know what you're looking at.
Okay, sorry, I'm just speaking about. There was a core at the secret shop. Azura had a trap down. I thought he didn't have enough vision of it, but apparently he did, and he just killed the trap. Sorry, killed the core.
Okay. So Grim and Lion are getting one shot now because TA has the Enchanted Quiver.
Ooh, fun.
She's also level 20, has the MKB, has... maybe the only thing preventing that is that they've just won so quickly that Desolator doesn't have the full 20 charges into it.
Silver linings are down 20k. They don't have the full charges because of how dominant they've been.
Yep.
Blessings.
You always got to look on the bright side, you know?
Yes. I like
Roche is
that
about to
mentality.
spawn.
Half full, half empty?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Or of a 3/4 full guy, you know?
What? Okay.
Always positive.
Ooh, avatar mode. Got his item.
Mr. Mice?
Wami's just gonna drop a Ravage solo for Mice. Another fly over to deal with the rest of Neon. But Nama's in a bit of trouble.
Oh, the Wraith Pact.
No, the Wraith Pack for the damage mitigation and the Nightmare. Mice is back in the middle, but if they kill him again, that's a dieback in. Trouble for Chaos Knight. This is a tricky fight for him now to take with this threat.
And mid lane's pushing in, bot lane's pushing in, so they need to do something now.
Look at Wami's positioning. So far on the front line, Mice is going to jump in the middle. Phantasm's going to buy him a little bit of time. Once
Nice
again, the
Nightmare.
Nightmare to be able to protect him. Avatar mode trying to charge up the Requiem as Mice is actually having a decent fight at the moment. A 1 for 2. But Neon, they're still going to be cautious though with the BKB. He's spying. There we go. They're on to Mice. DB gets a double chains in the backline. Gleipnir as well for good measure. And GG is called as Army Geniuses. A 30-minute victory from them as they look exceptional in this game 1.
Dire
Loving the flexibility
victory.
from DB in particular, right?
Yeah.
He got picked off like once or twice at bottom, but to be able to take that Ember Spirit, throw him into the safe lane just to ensure that you had that really great mid matchup, really impressed by him. So yeah, just a good performance all around. Narman 2 and 8 doesn't matter. Like he did exactly what he needed to do. Was the real main focus when you didn't really need to. I mean, you didn't need to focus the Monkey King. What's he going to do in a lot of these team fights once he gets off the Boundless? Not too much of anything. So it really did feel like he was just the one saying, hey, don't hit my Ember, don't hit my Bane. look at me instead. And he itemized towards that survivability as well, getting a nice early BKB for himself. Can't fault too much about what Army Geniuses did that game.
Oh no, without a doubt. I think also, I know you spoke about Nalman just then, but I think also with his early game and the amount of impact he had, we saw that rotation mid to help out. They get a kill on the Shadow Fiend? I'm trying to remember now. Anyway, he rotated mid, put a lot of emphasis on trying to slow down the Shadow Fiend's game. In fact, he had to walk all the way back to base, so this gave a lot of time for Azura to get his farm. And then we saw that play where he wrapped around top, killed the Beastmaster, and it was a beautiful read because bottom lane, Wami was laning versus Chaos Knight. That's really no troubles at all. We saw DB was able to, we saw that the Wami Tai was able to solo that matchup, so just a recognition that you could leave him, put a little bit more emphasis on some other lanes. And because of them shutting down N Ryu, it stopped a lot of their playmaking. You had kind of like a Shadow Fiend who's really a core, like a win condition hero. You're not like a tempo controlling like any spirit. So they relied on Mice to go a second item Blink, but unfortunately it was a little bit too late. By that stage, Dire had already started to find their key items for the mid game, and we saw what really happened. In the end, Army Geniuses, a really solid performance for them, able to execute at a high level in this game 1, but can they continue with that solid execution in game 2? We'll find out after the break.